To be honest, I don't think most Dominicans really think about Africa.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that most are that they consciously think about it. Africa. So I think growing up in the U.S., you grow up seeing certain images of Africa, and I think you're portrayed like this. What can I say? You see some of like the, I guess, more stereotypical aspects of Africa, or primarily West Africa. You tend to see images more like, the poor, type of stuff. You kind of grow up thinking of Africa as like still not as, I guess, advanced as the rest of the world and stuff.
Hi everyone, so it's me and Xtina, one of the fellow YouTube content creators. Xtina, we're just here hanging out. We just finished eating some yummy Dominican food, and now we're gonna have a little chat. All right. So Xtina, I'm gonna have you tell my viewers a little bit about yourself. What your channel is about, and then I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Okay.
So my name is Christina. I am a Dominican American born here in the U.S. to Dominican parents. My channel is called Viva Bella by Xtina. So my channel focuses primarily on culture, mainly Latin American / Dominican culture, history. I also do videos talking about dating, relationships. I do vlogs, travel vlogs, event vlogs, and I occasionally do live streams. So it's just a little bit of everything I do over there.
Okay, that's very interesting, Xtina. So I know you did some videos on Africa or on Afro Dominicans. So that was a very heated discussion that you had on your channel. Yeah. And a lot of people on YouTube don't really like to hear about that topic, but I'm gonna have to ask you because I'm an African Dominican channel, right? So tell me a little bit. First of all, what are your views concerning Dominicans and Africa in general?
Dominicans and Africa?
Yes. Like anything you want to say about that? Like, how do Dominicans view Africa, or what are your views of Africa? Let's just put it that way.
Africa. So I think growing up in the U.S., you grow up seeing certain images of Africa, and I think you're portrayed like this. What can I say? You see some of like the, I guess, more stereotypical aspects of Africa, or primarily West Africa. You tend to see images more like, the poor, type of stuff. You kind of grow up thinking of Africa as like still not as, I guess, advanced as the rest of the world and stuff like that, which later on, as I've gotten older, I've come to realize it's not the case. So there's actually a lot of very built up modern parts of Africa, and Africa is not, it's a continent, which I think people tend to treat it as like it's one country. So Africa, I mean, it's literally the most diverse continent on the planet. Right. So I think people need to keep that in mind. But
and I know Dominicans, I know you just had your DNA test done, right? So can you please tell my viewers how your results are?
Yeah, so it's changed a little bit over the years, but right. I'm basically somewhere between, so I've done Ancestry and I've done 23andMe, so I'm somewhere in between, like, was it 52 to 54% Sub-Saharan African, how much was it, like 2 or 4% North African, then I'm like 6% Native American, and then the rest is European, so somewhere between 35 to 40% European.
Okay, so most of your DNA is, you say 55% African?
Yeah.
Like almost 60% African. Yeah. And a lot of Dominicans, the heritage, I know Dominicans are partly Taino, African, and European, right? So would you say a majority of Dominicans share your DNA type?
I think a good portion do. I've watched a lot of Dominican DNA videos over the years, and you definitely see Dominicans all over the spectrum. I think a lot of us do kind of fall somewhere in the middle of having, a somewhat similar amount of African versus European ancestry. The native ancestry for most Dominicans is very low, right? Somewhere between maybe 5 to 10%. It's not a substantial amount of native DNA that we have. Right. You do occasionally come across people that have like maybe 15 to 20, but that's kind of rare. Right. But yeah, definitely the majority is African and European. You have some that have as much as like, almost 3/4 European, and then you have Dominicans that are like 3/4 African. Right. So you can pretty much find a mix of anything. Right. To be honest.
So based on what you know, being a Dominican, majority of Dominicans mostly 60% African or mostly European mixture. What would you say?
So I've seen different studies
Mhm.
on this, and I've seen the numbers reversed. I've seen studies that say it's like 50 to 60% European, but I've also seen studies that say it's 50 to 60% African.
Okay.
I say it varies depending on the region of DR that you're from.
Right.
But and you know, phenotype doesn't always equal genotype.
Mhm.
So I mean, you could have someone that has a significant amount of African DNA but looks more European, but you also sometimes get the opposite where they look whiter but they actually have a substantial amount of African.
Right.
But looking at Dominicans as a whole, I
Mhm.
mean, I think if you go to DR, you can definitely see that the majority are more on the melanated side.
Right.
Especially compared to like other Latin American or Hispanic countries,
Right.
we have a higher amount of African DNA in our gene pool
Right.
compared to other countries.
Exactly. I've been to Dominican Republic a lot, and when I go to Dominican Republic, I see more I don't want to say African looking, but I see more black Latinos, black Dominicans. Yes, they are mixed. They have a mulatto mixed, some of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like a majority of them are more closer to African and they are closer to white or European. But from my understanding, a lot of Dominicans who are from, I know you're from Bonao, right?
Yeah, my family's from Bonao.
Bonao has mostly more lighter Dominicans, would you say? More like mixed?
I think it's more of a mix.
More of a mix, right.
I mean, you see a lot of both. I definitely see a lot of Dominicans closer to my color, but you also see a lot that are a little tanner.
Right.
I wouldn't really say you have a whole lot of like white Dominicans,
right?
Like straight up white.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I would say it's more of a mix.
Right. And by the way, like I said, Sina is from Bonao. Bonao is a very beautiful place. I was there recently, and I think Bonao has very beautiful people, both men and women. I've been all over DR, but I feel like I've seen more beautiful people in Bonao than I had anywhere else in DR. Just me personally, and so the region where you're from is known as what's that region called?
Cibao.
Cibao is mostly where the whiter Dominicans are, right? So typically
well, I think it's a lot more mixed now, but generally speaking, you know, I think there's certain pockets within the Cibao where you do find the whiter Dominicans, but I think it's pretty mixed throughout.
Pretty mixed, right? No, that's definitely good to know. And so tell me, how do you feel like, honestly speaking, how do you feel like Dominicans feel about Africa as a whole?
To be honest, I don't think most Dominicans really think about Africa.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that most are that they consciously think about it. Like, I think Dominicans, we recognize that we have, of course, African DNA, and that there are a lot of African elements in our culture and even in like our food, dance, etc. But as far as Africa itself, I don't think there's so much of that.
There's no interest in Africa.
Connection there.
Connection or interest.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe among some of the newer generations, there has been more of like this surge of like an interest in trying to, I guess, learn more about that aspect of ourselves.
Right.
But generally speaking, I don't think most Dominicans really think about Africa.
Right. I've noticed that, like I said, with the younger generation, especially with the Afro beats, I've noticed that some Dominican music are more incorporating Afro beats, and when you listen to Dembo, I hear African music in Dembo as well. And of course, Dominican music in general has a lot of African influence, like you said, merengue, bachata. They all have heavy African influence, right? You agree?
I agree.
Right. And in the food as well, like mofongo, those kind of food. Mofongo is like, is Puerto Rican or is it Dominican?
It's Puerto Rican. We got mango.
Mango, right. Mango, exactly. So, guys, we are continuing with the interview, and I'm here grilling Xtina on our views of Africa and DR. You know, and thank you for answering my questions, by the way.
Your hair.
So tell me, what do you think of African music and dance?
African music? So I just recently, like in recent years, kind of discovered some African music and like Afro beats. So I mean, I definitely like some of it. I don't know the names of all the dances, but I know the one that I like that I've learned of is Kizomba.
Kizomba, the slow one,
Kizomba,
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. What I don't know the names of all the dances, but I know when I hear it, I know I've come across some like Congolese music that I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, it's like fast paced.
Yeah.
So one thing about Xtina, you guys, Xtina is a singer. She can sing really well. She plays music instruments, and she loves to dance. So honestly, I like to think of her as my sister from another mother, you know, just because I feel like, you know, we have the same values pretty much, and we both like music and dance. Both like yeah, of course. And I feel like it's a Dominican, she has an appreciation for Africa. Watching her content, I say somebody who's very knowledgeable about different topics and someone who's very open about different cultures. That's one thing I really I like about Christina. She talks about Africa, and she's willing to learn about different cultures, and I think that's a very good quality to have for anybody. My fellow Dominicans, not my fellow Dominicans, Dominicans. You know what? My fellow Dominicans watching this, learn from Christina. I mean, we all have to learn different things every day, but she appreciates and embraces her African culture and roots. And of course, she also appreciates her Taino and Native Indian and European roots as well. She's not like denying any of them. She just appreciates and embracing them, right? And I feel like a lot of people, they don't want people to talk about Africa. They just want people to focus on the European side or the Taino side. But I feel like it's a people, for us to accept who we are, we have to accept all of us, right?
Yes.
Accept who you are, your African heritage, accept your Native Indian, Taino heritage, accept your European heritage. Don't give more love or value to one than the other, but then you're rejecting a part of yourself, right?
Of course.
So that's one thing I will I appreciate and highly regard Christina for, because she's true to herself. She knows who she is. She knows she's partly African, partly European, partly Native. Just mostly African, so I'm happy about that. But I'm just like, it's really just good to accept who you are, all of you. There's nothing wrong with being an African. There's nothing wrong with having an African blood. Africa contributed a lot to the Dominican Republic through culture and food. Africa is beautiful. Just like Estina said, like watching African TV, you get a different picture of what Africa is. But honestly, guys, Africa is a very beautiful place. You have modern cities. You have beautiful dances. People are beautiful. You have different shades of people. So don't go by the media hype, get a chance to learn about the different cultures and, just learn about your roots and love that. You are beautiful with whether it's your dark skin, light skin, mixture. Just accept all of you.
I agree.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I think you said it. I mean, that's stuff, even though, I have people on YouTube that dislike me because they think I'm like one-sided, which is retarded. But anyway, I've always said accept all of who you are.
Right.
Like, why would you leave out or hate any part of what you are?
Exactly.
I've always said, I mean, as a Dominican, that comes first for me. That is where most of my pride lies, in just being Dominican.
Exactly.
But to me, that encompasses everything that I am, my African, my Native, and my European roots. And I don't deny either one just to appease one side.
Exactly.
I just embrace all of it.
That's very beautiful. And then we always like to teach that you have to love yourself. If you love yourself, you will accept all of you.
Yeah.
So for you to love anybody else out there, you have to love yourself first.
It's true.
So if you're watching this and you have a little shame, and I don't blame people who are ashamed of their black side so much, I feel like the media did a number on our mentality. But we think like everything that's black or dark or African is like taboo, it's negative, but it's not. We have to learn to learn on your own, take your time to research everything, and don't let the media brainwash you. Don't let the media whitewash you. Accept who you are more than anything. Love yourself. Love is the most important thing in this world. If you love yourself, you can love anybody, and you can love who you are.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, enough of the preaching. I think people are getting bored with us. No, but this is good information, right?
Yeah.
And of course, if you like Estina's interview, you like what you're hearing, please hit that like button. We don't have to tell you, but God, just reminding you.
Hit that like, y'all.
Hit that like. So okay, thank you so much, guys. All right, Christina. So guys, I'm asking Christina so many questions, but she's been very nice. That's why I like this girl. And you guys please follow Christina's channel, okay? What's your channel again, Christina?
Viva Bella by Christina.
Viva Bella. And for those of you guys who don't speak Spanish, it's Viva Bella. 2 L's A.
Yeah.
So Viva Bella, Bella. By Christina.